The zombie deer disease issue that occurred in the USA last year has become a development that worries the scientific world. This disease, detected in 800 deer living in the state of Wyoming, has the potential to affect not only animals but also humans, according to experts. Symptoms of the disease leave creatures drooling, lethargic, stumbling and with blank stares, causing a marked change in the behavior of animals affected by the disease. Experts have warned that zombie deer disease could be a slow-moving disaster and called on governments to take precautions against the risk of transmitting the disease to humans. However, it has been emphasized that it is extremely difficult to clean an environment where this disease occurs and that disease microorganisms can survive in dirt or on surfaces for a long time. Moreover, it has been determined that these microorganisms are resistant to disinfectants, formaldehyde, radiation, and burning at 600 degrees. While zombie deer disease often poses a fatal threat to cattle, it infects the central nervous system, leading to aggressive symptoms and lack of coordination in animals. The type of this disease transmitted to humans has caused 178 human deaths since 1995. According to the Public Wildlife Alliance, approximately 15,000 animals were consumed by humans in 2017, and this number is expected to increase by 20% each year. Dr. Anderson noted that thousands of people in Wisconsin likely consumed infected venison, noting that the potential for the disease to spread among humans is a serious concern. This encourages governments and society to take more effective measures to control and prevent the disease. Now let's talk about another zombie animal disease, zombie ants. A biological relationship that resembles a horror movie is taking place in the tropical rainforests of Brazil. Our heroes are a fungus and carpenter ants. Here is the summary of this scary movie. The killer fungus has only one purpose, and that is to find suitable ground to reproduce. All the sacrificial ant has to do is to go on a death march to the grave chosen for it. Carpenter ants live in the high branches of the rainforest and build their nests in tree holes. They travel in colonies and continue their lives by constantly climbing from tree branches to the forest floor and back up again. This normal life cycle changes terribly one day when a parasitic fungus makes the ants sick. The disease begins when ants come into contact with fungal spores on the forest floor, and within about a week, the entire body and head of the ant are invaded by fungal spores. The muscles of sick ants become deformed and tearing begins. The disease also affects the ant's central nervous system. At this point, the ant's behavior changes and they start to behave like a typical zombie. Worker carpenter ants, who normally never leave the colony and the path they follow, exhibit irregular behavior, walking in zigzags without realizing where they are going. Eventually, they leave the colony and can never find their way home again. The zombifying fungus also causes involuntary contraction of the muscles, and sick ants fall from tree branches to the ground and begin to wander unconsciously in the leafy and moist area located approximately 25 centimeters above the forest floor. The killer fungus waits for the most opportune moment and delivers its killing blow. This moist region has suitable conditions for the fungus to survive and reproduce. The interesting thing is that the killing blow almost always occurs at noon, when the heat of the sun is felt the most. The zombie ant acts as if it was pre-programmed, and forced by the fungus, bites the main vein under the leaf and then dies. Fungus spores growing on the ant's head control the muscles in the ant's jawbone and the nerves that manage these muscles, allowing the ant to perform the death bite. With the death bite, the ant's jawbone locks. And even after death, the ant remains suspended in this state, in the main vein under the leaf. After a few days, a reproductive sac containing hundreds of spores of the fungus begins to form on the ant's head. The image is really interesting. A stalk extending from the head of a dead ant stuck in a leaf and a sac on the stalk. The fungus expels its spores from these sacs, and hundreds of virulent spores spread across the forest floor to infect other ants. Research shows that there are 4 types of fungi that create zombie ants in this way. Each type of fungus is specialized for a single ant species. These types of fungi are found in the tropical forests of Africa, Brazil, and Thailand. Experts say that the life cycle of this fungus, which changes and directs the behavior of ants, is quite complex. A fossilized leaf sample found by the researchers shows that this type of relationship existed as early as about 48 million years ago.